Hello, English 101 writers. I hope you guys had a good long Labor Day weekend and hopefully we're ready to hit the ground running this week. I wanted to really quickly touch base with you on what's due this week and share a couple of tips as you get rolling with your rough draft. So, as a reminder, we're looking at the front page of Blackboard, and this was the most recent announcement and email that I sent. Just reminding you that because we had pushed all of those due dates back for weeks 1 and 2, we're now in week 3. So as of now, on this Sunday, September 13th, we will have all of that coming due. So this Sunday by 11:59, you want to make sure that you have turned in your narrative assignment 1, which is under the narrative essay August 24th to 30th folder, narrative assignment 2 under the next folder in that same essay. And then finally, you're going to turn in the rough draft of your literacy narrative, which is under week 3 of that same folder. So I've received a lot of these, and the narrative 1 and 2 assignments are looking fantastic. I'm really impressed with the thorough time and thought that you've given these works. So really keep that up. If you haven't turned those in yet, that's fine. You still have until Sunday, but be sure that you have a plan to get those completed. And if you're going to struggle with this Sunday due date, please get in touch with me. You can email me. If I scroll down here just a little bit, my email is right here, KimberlyJones@cincinnati-state.edu. You can also use that email instructor link. And this is my cell phone, 513-283-4593. Email, I can get back to you within 24 hours, but if you need a quicker response, do feel free to send me a text as well. So quickly, because I promised to keep this short, I want to make sure that everybody feels good about writing our narrative this week. So you'll find that assignment prompt under week 3, so September 7th to September 13th is where we are. And you've got several assignments in here and several resources that are going to help you build up to writing that draft. So under here, we have several pieces that will walk you through the writing process that I think you'll find very helpful. I did want to very quickly just say a few words about this top part of the writing process, the pre-writing, the drafting, and even the revising, because that's really where we are this week. So with pre-writing, what I always like to remind students is that there are a million ways to do it. There's no one right way. And part of becoming a writer in college is figuring out what works for you. So some of you may find that you like to make outlines or lists. Some of you might like to web or brainstorm. Some of you might like to free write to get your ideas out. Some of you might like to just bat the ideas around for a couple of days without ever actually writing anything down. And I think all of those are valid forms of pre-writing. Just be sure that you are doing some thinking before you sit down, or else you might find yourself in one of those blank page anxiety moments where you just don't know where to start. If you need any ideas for pre-writing, you'll find some in week 3 of Blackboard, where I just pointed out. But if you get stuck on that, please let me know. I'm happy to help you work through that initial outlining, pre-writing, pre-thinking process. When you actually sit down to write the draft, my best piece of advice to you is to just get the draft down. I think a lot of us want to have it come out perfectly the first time, and that's just not the way most of us can write. So just get the ideas out. They don't need to come out perfectly this first time. That's why we go back and revise so many times. So get your ideas out, get the draft down. Once you've got a good, 2-3 pages, double spaced, of course, we're looking at a 900-word assignment here, so it's not super long. Once you get that, what I call the down draft on paper, walk away for a little while. If you try to revise it right then and there, you're probably just going to read over your mistakes because you knew what you meant to say. So you'll read what you meant to say, not what you actually typed. So if you are able, I highly recommend getting that first draft down, maybe today, tomorrow, Friday, and then going back Sunday and reading it through a second time, making the revisions, looking for any errors, any inconsistencies, any places where maybe you aren't as clear as you would have liked to have been, and then doing that revision before you turn in the first rough draft. The revision process is the most important process. All pieces are important, but our writing really becomes better when we take the time to revise and not just edit or proofread. Notice that revision and editing are two separate steps in the writing process. When we're talking about revision, we're talking about the big picture ideas. Do your ideas flow? Does everything make logical sense? Have you given the impression that you want to give to the reader? So that's what we'll be looking at after we draft, and we'll be looking at that with the rough draft as well before we get the final draft down. So hopefully that helps give you a bit of a sense of what you're working on. Be sure that you do read the literacy narrative assignment carefully. We've been reading literacy narratives when you were working with you know, prison stories, and the TED Talk on the single story. Both of those were examples of literacy narratives. So you've had a couple of examples. So read through this, start to pre-write, think about what you want your narrative to be about. And then again, everything from the first 3 weeks will be due this Sunday. If that deadline is going to be an issue for you, please get in touch with me, and we can usually figure something out. I don't want to push everything back, but if you need to push one thing back, I can usually accommodate that pretty easily. If you have any questions at all, as I said before, please give me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email, and I will be happy to help in any way I can. Thank you so much.